Ever see those two types of people at the airport? There's the traveler who just seems to glide through, looking calm and collected, while just a few feet away, someone else looks like they're living out a personal travel nightmare. What's the secret? I can tell you it's not about having a first-class ticket. It's about knowing what not to wear. Most people make critical wardrobe mistakes without even realizing it, and I've spent years documenting these outfit disasters. What I've found will change how you pack forever. We're not just talking about being a little uncomfortable. We're talking about simple accessories that can trigger a full-blown security alert, fabrics that turn your seat into a sauna, and clothing choices that can literally make you a target for thieves. But one of these mistakes, mistake number 3 on our list, is a genuine health risk that's so serious, flight attendants have started issuing urgent warnings about it. Stick with me, because we're about to break down the 7 things you should never wear to the airport. Picture this. I saw it happen at Denver International just last month. A woman, let's call her Sarah, steps up to the TSA scanner. She's wearing a cool statement necklace, a chunky silver bracelet, and a belt with some metal studs. The machine screams. So she takes off the obvious jewelry and tries again. It still goes off. 3 attempts later, after a full pat-down, they figure it out. It was her underwire bra, the metal eyelets in her boots, and even the tiny metal zipper on her jacket pocket. What should have been a 30-second scan turned into a 20-minute ordeal. She got a pat-down, a full bag search, and a secondary screening. The worst part? She missed her connection to Miami by 4 minutes. And this isn't just about missing your flight. Every time that alarm goes off because of an innocent piece of jewelry, it slows the whole line down. You're not just a passenger anymore. You're the person holding everyone up. You can feel the frustration building behind you, that psychological pressure as you're fumbling with clasps and zippers while 100 people are staring at your back. It's intense. So what are the worst offenders? It's not always what you think. Of course, big statement necklaces and a stack of bracelets are guaranteed to set it off. But the hidden culprits are things like underwire bras, big belt buckles, anything with metal studs or decorative zippers, even hair clips with metal springs or some athletic wear with metallic thread. And those cute ankle boots with all the buckles and eyelets? You're practically asking for a pat-down. TSA agents will tell you privately. Oversized hoop earrings, layered chains, and decorative belts cause the most consistent delays. So, what's the smart move? It's incredibly simple. Opt for wood, plastic, or fabric jewelry. Wear clothes with minimal hardware. If you absolutely love that metal statement piece, pack it in your carry-on and put it on after you get through security. Your fellow travelers will silently thank you for it. I once watched a businessman on a red-eye to Tokyo who was, and I'm not exaggerating, dripping with sweat just 30 minutes into the flight. He was wearing a polyester dress shirt and synthetic pants. For the next few hours, he was shifting in his seat, pulling at his collar, and constantly dabbing his forehead with napkins. By hour 3, the jacket was off, his shirt was unbuttoned, and he was fanning himself with the safety card while everyone else was asleep. So, what's the deal? Why do some fabrics turn into a personal torture chamber at 30,000 feet? It all comes down to how different materials handle the weird environment inside a plane. Synthetic fabrics, think polyester, nylon, acrylic, are the absolute worst for flying. They don't breathe, at all. They trap heat and moisture right against your skin so your body can't cool itself down. You're basically wrapping yourself in a thin, stylish plastic bag. Now, you might think the cabin is cold, and it is. They keep it between 65 and 70 degrees, about 18 to 21 Celsius. But the humidity is insanely low, like 5 to 20%. It's drier than a desert. That dry air should help you stay cool, but if you're wearing synthetics, your sweat has nowhere to go. It just gets trapped, creating this gross, clammy microclimate between your clothes and your skin. This is a recipe for misery. You start sweating, then your skin gets irritated from the trapped moisture, and there's no way you're getting any sleep. Your body is working overtime just to stay cool, which weakens your immune system and makes jet lag hit you like a truck when you land. Flight attendants see this all the time. They see passengers in polyester fidgeting and complaining about the temperature, while the person right next to them in a natural fabric is perfectly comfortable. Here's the easy fix. Go for natural, breathable fibers. Merino wool is the king of travel fabrics. It wicks moisture, regulates your temperature, and resists wrinkles and odors. But other great options are tencel, modal, bamboo, or good old-fashioned cotton. These materials work with your body to keep you comfortable, no matter what the cabin temperature is. Okay, this is the one we need to talk seriously about. Here's a statistic that should honestly scare every single person who flies. Deep vein thrombosis, or DVT, affects 1 in every 4,656 passengers on flights over 4 hours. DVT is a blood clot that forms silently in your leg. If that clot breaks loose and travels to your lungs, it creates a pulmonary embolism, and that can be fatal within minutes. And the biggest contributor to this risk that you have direct control over? Your clothing. Those skinny jeans, tight leggings, or anything with a restrictive waistband might look great, but on a plane, they are actively working against your body. When you're sitting for hours, they're compressing major blood vessels and cutting off circulation to your lower body. Blood starts to pool in your legs, the flow slows down, and that's when dangerous clots can start to form. It's a perfect storm. The immobility of just sitting on a plane creates something called venous stasis, where blood flow slows way down. When you add tight clothing that squeezes key pressure points, like a tight waistband compressing vessels in your abdomen or skinny jeans squeezing your thighs, you're creating the ideal conditions for a clot. Even things you think are helping, like compression garments, can be dangerous if they're the wrong size or worn incorrectly. They can create tourniquet-like pressure points instead of promoting healthy blood flow. The warning signs are subtle and easy to dismiss as just travel fatigue. Your leg might feel a little swollen or tender. Your skin might feel warm to the touch. You might notice a bit of redness. But these can quickly escalate to major swelling in one leg, a sharp, cramping pain, and skin that's noticeably warmer than your other leg. Any flight longer than 4 hours dramatically increases your risk. No one is immune, but restrictive clothing puts you at a much higher risk. So, what should you do instead? This is non-negotiable. Choose loose-fitting clothing that allows for healthy blood flow. Think joggers, wide-leg pants, comfortable dresses, or relaxed-fit trousers. If you want to wear compression socks, which is a great idea, especially on long-haul flights, make sure they are properly fitted. They should apply graduated pressure, meaning they're tightest at the ankle, and get looser as they go up your leg. This actually helps your blood return to your heart, fighting the effects of sitting for so long. Ditch the skinny jeans. Your health is worth way more. Picture this: Flight 1247 from Chicago to Atlanta. A passenger, let's call her Jessica, boards wearing her favorite Tom Ford perfume. It's a scent she loves and gets compliments on all the time. But on the plane, it's a different story. Within minutes, people are covering their noses. 3 passengers ask to change seats. A woman with asthma starts wheezing and has to use her inhaler. The flight attendant has to politely ask Jessica to go to the tiny lavatory and try to wash the fragrance off. Her signature scent just became a cabin-wide incident and delayed takeoff. Here's why. That pressurized, recirculated cabin air is like an amplifier for smells. A light spritz at home becomes an overwhelming assault in an enclosed metal tube. The air filtration systems don't really eliminate scent molecules, they just spread them around. Your personal fragrance bubble is now shared with 200 other people. And this is a real problem because nearly 35% of people report having a sensitivity to fragrances. For them, it's not just an annoyance. It can trigger headaches, nausea, or even severe respiratory issues. The super dry cabin air also changes how scents are perceived, often making them seem much stronger. These situations get awkward fast. It creates tension between passengers and crew. People get angry when they are trapped next to a smell that's making them feel sick. Luckily, the fix is simple. This doesn't mean you have to smell like nothing. The key is to choose subtle, personal scents that don't project. Solid perfumes or perfume balms are fantastic for travel. Essential oil roller balls are another great option. If you must wear a liquid fragrance, choose something very light, like a citrus or soft musk. and apply it sparingly hours before you even leave for the airport. Did you know you can get kicked off a flight for your outfit? It happens every single day. A woman in Miami was denied boarding because her crop top was too revealing. A guy in LA was removed because his shorts were too short. A college student missed her own graduation because an airline said her leggings were inappropriate. These aren't just crazy one-off stories. Airlines have the right to refuse service based on their dress code. The problem is, the enforcement is completely random. It's a lottery. What's fine on American Airlines might get you banned from Delta. It all comes down to the gate agent's split-second personal judgment. There's often no clear, written policy to follow. This creates a minefield where you never know if your outfit is going to be a problem. And the consequences are a financial nightmare. If you get denied boarding, you're looking at rebooking fees that can be hundreds of dollars. You lose money on non-refundable hotels and event tickets. It can cost you thousands, all because a gate agent didn't like your tank top. The airline policies use vague language like appropriate attire or offensive clothing. What does that even mean? It can mean anything. But some common things that get flagged are shorts that are above mid-thigh, tank tops with very thin straps or low-cut sides, any clothing with profanity or controversial images or text. And yes, even certain types of yoga pants or athletic wear can be an issue on some airlines. These incidents often go viral, turning a private travel headache into a public humiliation. Here's how you avoid this disaster. When you fly, err on the side of caution. Dress modestly. Choose clothing that covers your shoulders, chest, and thighs. It's a great idea to pack a backup option, like a cardigan or a pair of lightweight pants, in your carry-on. If you're ever challenged, you can just change without a fuss. A little bit of conservative planning can save you from a massive headache. This story is chilling. A man, let's call him Marcus, was walking through JFK Airport. He had on a Rolex, was carrying a Louis Vuitton bag, and was wearing those flashy Golden Goose sneakers that cost a fortune. 2 hours later, airport security found him in a bathroom stall. His hands were zip-tied. Everything of value was gone. The thieves had spotted him the second he got out of his Uber. They followed him through 3 terminals, waiting for the right moment to corner him in a secluded area. This is not to scare you, but to make you aware. Airports are a perfect hunting ground for professional thieves. The chaos of millions of people provides perfect cover. Travelers are stressed, distracted by gate changes and security lines, and that makes them vulnerable. These criminals are experts at spotting high-value targets. They scan crowds for obvious designer logos, expensive watches, and luxury handbags. They know exactly what items have the best resale value on the black market. Your Hermes scarf or Cartier watch isn't just an accessory. To them, it's a signal of easy money. What are they looking for? Rolex watches are at the top of the list, instantly recognizable and worth thousands. Designer handbags from brands like Louis Vuitton, Chanel, and Gucci are next. High-end jewelry is also a major target. And trying to file an insurance claim for these stolen items is a long, frustrating process with no guarantee you'll get your money back. The pro move here is all about being discreet. Choose high-quality items that don't scream their brand name from across the terminal. Opt for classic, understated designs instead of pieces covered in logos. Keep valuable jewelry hidden under your clothes or, even better, leave your most expensive items at home. You can still have great style without making yourself a walking advertisement for thieves. I once sat near a passenger on a flight to Germany who was just miserable for 8 hours straight. She boarded wearing a thick wool sweater, a heavy denim jacket, and a lined winter coat. She was sweating before we even took off. Then, mid-flight, the cabin got chilly, so she was shivering in just her tank top. Then it warmed up again during descent, and she was back to sweating. By the time we landed, she just looked exhausted and defeated. Air travel is a temperature roller coaster, and most people prepare for it all wrong. You go from a warm terminal, to a freezing jet bridge, to a cabin with fluctuating temperatures, and then you have to deal with the weather at your destination. Putting on a big, bulky coat seems logical, but it's the worst way to handle it. Those heavy layers trap heat and make you overheat while you're crammed in your seat during boarding. Then, when the cabin air, which is pulled in from outside where it's negative 55 degrees, and then warmed up, starts circulating. Your heavy layers suddenly feel inadequate when you're cold, and suffocating when you're warm. You can never find a comfortable middle ground. This constant battle with temperature is exhausting. It prevents you from resting and just adds to the overall stress of travel, making your jet lag even worse. So, what's the secret? It's all about strategic, lightweight layering. Base layer. Start with a thin, moisture-wicking base layer, like a t-shirt made of merino wool, tencel, or even a high-quality cotton blend. Mid-layer. Add a breathable mid-layer like a zip-up fleece, a cashmere sweater, or a cardigan. The key here is something that's easy to take on and off. Outer piece. Your final piece should be versatile. A pashmina, a large scarf, or a packable jacket is perfect. A scarf is the ultimate travel tool. It can be a blanket, a pillow, or an extra layer of warmth. This system lets you adapt to any temperature change instantly and smoothly, keeping you comfortable from the curb to your final destination. So there you have it. 7 outfit mistakes that can turn a dream trip into a disaster. But now you have the insider knowledge to avoid all of them. So before your next trip, take a hard look at your go-to travel outfit. Are you making any of these mistakes without even knowing it? That favorite metal necklace, that comfy polyester shirt, or those tight-fitting jeans could be setting you up for failure. Now, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and share your own travel outfit disasters. What's the one piece of clothing that made your trip miserable? And which mistake from this list surprised you the most? And if you want more insider travel intelligence that will change how you fly, make sure you subscribe. Travel safe and travel smart.